You getting out of you lying? You just got in here. Put her in the middle.
You waited for 25 minutes.
It's funny too, because I was on a whole. I'm looking at, but I was on another tab, so I couldn't see anything. But the moment I said we finna cancel, I said, I bet you her ass is right here.
Right here.
Oh my god. Wow. Thank you so much for coming on here. I feel like we are 2 months overdue. We been brought this up to you, but we never made it happen. Of course, that's on me. I'm the lag king.
We weren't in a rush. It's all good. Happy to be here with y'all today.
Absolutely. The name of the show is Shit That Matters, man. I know for our platform we do like a lot of fun, nonsense, a little bit of toxicity, a little bit of like philanthropy, yeah. But we really want to create a show that was literally dedicated to bringing up people and talking to people who do shit that matters in the community. And we felt like you were one of those people.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And if you want to, I know we got our at names in here. I don't know if you want to put your at name so that they can see it. If you want to.
I don't know where to put it.
Shit, sure.
That's okay. That's okay. They can find me. Lauren Brazile. Easy to find.
Oh, she popping. They know. Okay, Lauren. I guess you can give yourself a brief intro for those who don't. For those of how do you say it?
Us who don't know.
Who don't know. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? A little bit of background, and we'll get into it.
Okay. Lauren Brazile. I am a consultant and the founder of a nonprofit. So under the consulting tier, I manage talent, I manage projects. Most of these projects are community-based and, projects that we all know and love. So a little bit of background about those projects. I was a project manager at Taste of Soul Family Festival for 5 years, accountant for the LA Sentinel News for 5 years. Now I help with Leimert Park Juneteenth Festival, Leimert Park Jazz Festival, Spring Fest with Miss Heather Hutt. Anything that's community-based on the consulting side, down for. And then on the nonprofit side, I have We Grow LA. So We Grow LA is it's really a safe space for LA. So wherever we are, that's space. So if we're at the Slauson giving out food, if we're at the schools, administering curriculum, whatever it is that we're doing, we're creating safe spaces for Anlinos to learn and grow. So that's kind of our thing.
I like it. What kind of got you into the community stuff? Everything you said was like straight community based. And that's I feel like I won't say it is kind of rare. I will say it's rare. But not only is it rare, I feel like you actually have to really care about doing these things. Like so many people come to me and say like, yo, you start a nonprofit, like, and they kind of lead with it's money in it. And they kind of have to, because they know if you don't lead with that, like. And
those are the nonprofits that I don't want to work with.
Really?
I stay away from that. Yeah. So I do. So to answer before I answer your question, not if you have a nonprofit or not, I do believe in like earning your income, right? So I don't believe in saying it's a profit, but then when funding comes, you pocket half of it. That's not a nonprofit, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, there are a lot of people out here moving like that. So yeah, pet peeve. But as far as what got me into this, I come from a very service-led family. So both of my parents were educators with LA Unified School District for combined over 50 years. My grandma was a teacher. My uncle is the founder of the LA Sentinel newspaper and Taste of Soul Family Festival. So I literally grew up like going to AIDS awareness marathons and handing out cars and going to, breast cancer awareness events and going with my aunt to fundraise for something. So I kind of grew up in that environment. Got my accounting degree, tried to work these like, high paying, good 9-to-5 jobs, but it just wasn't fulfilling. And like at every job, I was trying to like start like a service club at the job. Like, I know we're for profit, but can we do some nonprofit shit? So I just finally said, you know what? I'm just going to go full-fledged and do it.
And how long have you been? How long has it been? Or I guess since you was a kid, you've been just kind of like knocking it out and knocking on that door, right?
Yeah, I've been intentionally creating impact in LA for 8 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when you started the foundation, a nonprofit, or that's just when
No, that's when I started. I just started We Grow LA. So I didn't open a nonprofit until I felt confident that I could do what a nonprofit should do. Right. So I was a student. This whole past 8 years, I've been a student to the game, humbly going into every situation and just helping. And if I didn't know how to help, I'm figuring out how to help. And then if everything's already squared away, learn how to make it better, make it more impactful or reach more people. So
yeah, I remember some off-camera conversations was around how you was already doing some of the work. Like people would come to you with saying that they needed help for the stuff that you wanted to do on a nonprofit side. So you was like, I might as well go ahead and start the things that people come to me to do on my own because if it's not your own thing that you're working on, people you might have had a final say so how it might turn out. So I want to personally know what really inspired the We Grow LA movement and where do you plan on taking it over the next years as you continue to grow it?
Great question.
What inspired it was me. So We Grow LA is literally just kind of like a brand name on the work that I've been doing, right? So the name is new, but the concept, been doing this for a long time. And the name came about. I literally woke up with it one morning. I was thinking, I'm like, I know I need to start a nonprofit. So me as a consultant, I understand, branding and logos and how things look and how things come across to people and how people perceive things. So it was in my heart and I was prayerful about it. Like, okay, God, I don't want to just do what I want to do. I want to pray about it. You give me insight, give me the vision that needs to be. And I literally woke up one morning with We Grow LA. And it's funny how the logo was designed. I was in a meeting and it was a planning meeting and the meeting got a little boring. You start opening up new tabs on the laptop, right? And then I just opened up the new tab and by the end of the meeting, I was sitting there looking at my logo after playing with stuff. I was like, oh, cool. So it all just kind of happened organically. Even my first events and partnerships, it was like people were calling me about it. So I had a lot of confirmation in like, okay, this is the move because God just kept opening the doors, making it make sense.
Love it.
Yeah. Talk to me about this idea of like, because I was watching this thing, right? And it was like, yo, God told me. And I always wonder, like, because God don't talk to me like outright. I don't just hear the voice. And so I
No, it don't. No. There's not some like Lauren Star LA. No,
but well, like, okay, Eric Thomas, right? He's a motivational speaker. Like Eric Thomas says, God, like he hears it. And then I've heard others saying like it comes to you in a dream. And so I'm curious for you, like, for you, it may not be a direct voice, but how do you know that it's God or the sign? Like what are those cues for you to be like, that's my sign? Like, how do you know?
So first, thank you for asking me that because I'm very spiritual. I read my Bible almost every day. I don't talk about that a lot because I don't ever want to make anybody feel uncomfortable about anything. I don't ever want anybody to feel judged, like because I believe in this, I expect you to, or I expect you to understand my journey or anything like that. I love like meeting people where they are, wherever that is. So I appreciate you opening that up because God is a big part of everything I do. So how do I hear God's voice? I pray. It's crazy because we were just talking about this on the Clap It Up panel. I feel like there is a proper way to pray. And contrary to like what a lot of people think, it's not necessarily what you say or how you say it, but it's where your heart and mind like honestly are when you send it up. You know what I mean? Like, are you sending it up like, God probably can't do anything, but I'm gonna ask him anyway because I'm stressed out. I don't know what else to do. Like, if you have any doubt, like it's God's gonna meet you where. Yeah, if you have any doubt, God can only meet you where you are. So I feel like the whole hearing God's voice, it's not for me personally. It's not some audible voice that just comes out of a random speaker box in the sky. It's like I said, I woke up with the name of my nonprofit. I don't know. It wasn't in my head when I went to sleep, but I was praying about it and I was praying God help me figure it out. And then I woke up with the name. So I feel like God can speak to you in different ways. I've heard a lot of people say God speaks to them in dreams. I think I'll be so worn out by the time I go to sleep. If I do have I don't even know. I don't know.
Hey, God, let my sleep be sleep, God. Talk to me when I'm up.
Yeah, don't bother me. Yeah, talk to me when I'm awake.
Do you believe in angel numbers?
Angel number. I'm big on numerology or astrology too much. But I believe in math and science, and I know that that's all intertwined, and God made all of it.
Right.
So
Right. Okay. I feel like that's one of my signs. Like I noticed a lot of the times, like for example, when I moved to Houston, my license plate that I got was 5555. And when I looked up those numbers, it just said that everything that I am manifesting is slowly but surely coming to me. It's on its way. And when I moved back to LA, I met up with Scottie last summer. It's been a year since we've met and started to, venture into what we're doing with SBRBN and a lot of the other things that we're doing outside of Suburban. So it just kind of reinforced my position in my faith in it all, to just continue to trust the process and continue to walk by faith and not by fear, and to just continue to just make, whatever situation that you're in, let it be a positive one and not a negative one. It could be the most fucked up situation, but try to spin it as best as you can to pull out some type of positivity. And I feel like what you're doing with We Grow LA is kind of an example of that, because I grew up around the corner. I was mentioning to you yesterday. I grew up off of 64th and Western, and it wasn't always, the best and brightest of times, but I was able to pull a lot of just positivity from those moments growing up in that area, and now being able to come back to work with people like you and Storm and so many other faces that we are able to bring out. Scottie, you got to come to the next one, bro. And just being able to build that community, right, and have that there for other people to just see and enjoy and know that it's possible if we all really work together. So I just want to again thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, thank you for coming.
No,
thank you for coming. No, because a lot of people have preconceived.
I feel like I just took a shot just now. What just happened?
I'm a guilt trip for you to coming to the next one, bro. You got to
vicarious guilt trip, not direct. Sidebar guilt trip, Scottie. You got to come out. But I know a lot of people have preconceived notions about the Slauson. I've heard a lot of people say like, I don't go there. It's dangerous. Okay, I grew up in Seal Beach, Orange County. I'm at the Slauson whenever I need to be. It's really not that dangerous of a place. That's not me being naive to anything about LA culture, about gang culture. I'm not naive to anything. I just have a full understanding that, when you're moving in the will of God, danger just has a different meaning. Because I don't feel scared anywhere I go. I literally, if there's service work for me somewhere, I'll go anywhere. I'm not tripping. So it makes me kind of sad when I hear people from the city be like, oh, I'm not pulling up. Like, you don't want to create the let's say the Slauson was a negative place. You don't want to be the person to go and create a positive impact, put a positive spin on it, So it's a bit sad, but I try to make the food drives very appealing and let people know and understand like it is a safe space. We have some of the biggest influencers in LA that come faithfully to volunteer. Like I couldn't do it without Storm and JD and Watomi Kwan. And I couldn't do it without them. You know what I mean? So the fact that all these local celebrities are showing up, and then you got the Joe Schmoes, like, oh, I'm too good for that, or even yesterday when we were giving out food, I invited someone over to get some food and they were like, oh, well, that's for poor people.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
Yeah, and I was like, well, damn, don't we all go grocery shopping? Like, because we don't have poor people food, whatever that is, because food is food.
It's name brand.
But we have, almost everything is name brand.
Can I be honest with you?
Jmillz
took some milk home. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you.
Took some eggs.
Oh, let's talk about that. Okay. So that's
no, he did. He really did.
Let me promote being a We Grow LA volunteer. So I do believe that volunteering for We Grow LA is one of the most fun volunteering opportunities you'll have, because everybody that volunteers with me, we all have fun together. Honestly, we all make money together outside of doing service work. We all be, making plays, and we pray together and we uplift each other, So along with that, we're a true community. So being a part of the We Grow LA volunteer group is being a part of our community. Sometimes we have Taco Tuesdays where everybody just, brainstorms on the whiteboard and we all figure out how we could become better and, improve and grow LA, grow ourselves while we're growing LA. So it's not just some little like, oh, I'm going to go give out food today. Like, we're a real community. Once we're locked in, if you need something, you could call on me. It's not a one-way street. It's not just you're giving your time and not getting anything back. And then the final thing, as you experienced yesterday, I let my volunteers shop first out the food. So I would just think it's crazy for someone to come volunteer to hand out food and then go spend money on food at the store. That would just not make any sense to me. So we're all people, and it's not just for poor people. It's for everybody. We all need food in our fridge. So I let my volunteers shop first, and then we open it up to the community, and then we open it up to the vendors of Slauson after the community's done.
I like that. I want Jmillz, you have something?
No, I honestly want to speak on that whiteboard you got behind you, but I'll let Scottie go ahead.
Go. I will take because the whiteboard gonna be there. Before I forget, I do want to talk about the Slauson. Some of the misconceptions, but before we even transition, because nonprofits obviously are nonprofit per se in terms of like they're not necessarily supposed to be taking home hella revenue, but how does one make money with a nonprofit and use it to like survive on, or is that even not the goal? Like, should you be using all the funds for do you pay yourself with a nonprofit? Should you? How does that work in your eyes?
I think if the nonprofit is the only thing you have going on, then idealistically you'd have to fundraise enough to be able to do all your initiatives and pay yourself. Yeah. I just don't want to fall into that trap of using community money for myself. And I thank God I don't have to, because I'm a consultant. I manage Storm. I manage events. So I'm able to earn an income even to where I'm donating to my own nonprofit, opposed to the other way around. So how do you make money as a nonprofit? This is my journey. I'll say. I don't know how everybody else says. I believe in impact first. So a lot of people are like, oh, I need to go apply for the grant. Oh, I also build presentation decks. So I've built a lot of presentation decks for a lot of nonprofits to help them earn money. I've built decks that have earned over $100,000 before for people, but the deck and the grant application, in my opinion, that's not where you start. You start with impact. So I was doing everything nonprofit before I got paid for it. It was coming out of my own pocket. I'm not suggesting this. I'm just saying this was my route. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask anybody for anything. The only thing I was asking for was to show up and see what I'm doing. I don't need anything from you. I just want you to come see what we're doing. And then that'll be up to you later if you want to, be a part of it or not. And so the first few months of We Grow LA, I didn't ask for anything. I networked and I created as much of an impact as I could. So if I don't have that much funding, I might have to tag on to somebody else's event. I might not be able to have my own whole event at the park, but somebody else is having an event and I'm sure they would love to have extra youth programming there. So partnering with other organizations that do have funding, right? And doing the work, not just latching on to them to latch onto them. No, providing something, making something better, doing the work. And when you keep doing the work, you really don't have to ask for much. My first sponsorship with We Grow LA, I didn't ask for. It was a healthcare company that came. They said, we see what you're doing. We love what you're doing. We want to sponsor the next food drives. We want to provide health screenings at Slauson. And it just happened so organically. And so now when it's time to apply for grants, I'm not saying what I could do with the money. I'm saying, look what I've done without your money. So I don't think that's the common way. I think the common way is to just go out and get all you can get so then you have funding to do something. But service is on my heart and I'm going to do it with or without funding. And I needed everybody to see that. I wasn't shy about that. Like, if you're donating, wegrowla.com. But even if you're not, I still want you here. I still want you in the picture. I still want you handing out food. I still want you supporting the mission. It's not supporting me. It's supporting the mission of growing LA. Fire. So I have found success in that. I feel like the proof is in the pudding. So it's like people be asking for money with no proof of concept. So I just want to show people what we're about. And after that, sometimes the funding takes care of itself.
I love it. So that whiteboard behind you, what we got going on, is that some of the proof of concept stuff that you got going on, or how you're going to continue to grow and impact the communities? I honestly want to know, do you plan on putting a grocery store inside of the Slauson? Is that an idea that you might be thinking about? Because
so infrastructurally, that would cost so much money that if I opened a grocery store, it would not be in a building that somebody else owns. I would have to own that. Yeah. So if I own the Slauson one day, then sure, we'll have a grocery store inside.
Is that a goal of yours to own?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
No.
I ain't gonna lie.
That's another thing. I like to move around. I don't even want to get too consumed by one initiative, because LA is a big place and there's just so much opportunity for me to give and for me to receive. So I don't want to just do one thing. Yeah.
But besides like the grocery giveaway, and you may have said maybe I went blank, but like, what are the other important things to you? Obviously, food is a big part of it. Is there like mental health? What else is there in that?
Yeah, so our last food drive, we actually incorporated mental health into the food drive, where we were literally having like small one-on-one counseling sessions with some of the elderly folks in the neighborhood, and they were telling us what their concerns are, and we're taking, we're surveying, we're taking note of that. So we're able to include a lot of initiatives with the food drive, the health screenings, all those things we can easily tack onto the food drives. But beyond that, I have a full community center inside of Slauson that we can activate at any time. Yeah. So inside of that community space, it's the largest open vending spot in the Slauson. So it's Black female operated, which I think is amazing. But we offered the space actually for free. So if anybody has a brand that they're growing, a product that they're selling, anything like that, you can communicate with me. You can book a free pop-up space. I already have a lot of infrastructure laid out. It is a cute space. We have a stage. We have a full sound system. We had a member of the deaf community come and have a really cool shopping experience for people that are deaf and hard of hearing. We had Champs Up come and do Air of the Creator, where we had live performers and things like that. We've had really cool clothing customization, tie-dye stations in there. So it's an open space that is open to the community. So that is part of the We Grow LA impact, is being able to offer a storefront for you to be able to sell your products. Because most people, when they first start selling, you can't afford to pay rent for a store, or even sometimes vending at these events. If it costs $500 to get a vending booth, you just might not have it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have the opportunity. So I just try to provide opportunity to small, local, and minority businesses.
How would they get in contact with you if they wanted to, book that space? Did they go on the website, contact you via social media?
Yeah, anybody can contact me. You could sign up wegrowla.com. You could reach out to Slauson Supermall on Instagram. You could email me, lauren@wegrowla.com. Or you could DM me, Lauren Brazile. So however, plenty of communication channels.
And I tell you, we got our clip. That's the clip right there. That was the one.
We got to make sure the people know where to go when we have resources available. A lot of the time, just like people don't know who they should be reaching out to, where they should go. So just being able to put it out in the front to where it's like, this is what you got to do. Contact so-and-so. They'll get back to you, or call this person and email that person. So yeah, I feel like it's definitely a great thing what you're doing. Just trying to get more people.
Can we use this as a segue into the misconceptions about Slauson?
Bro,
that was the next thing, right?
Yes, I'm
so that was a great start to the misconceptions about Slauson. So Scottie, first, I want to thank you for just collaborating with me on the marketing after that crazy article came out about Slauson. Like you were, the front line with it. So I really appreciate that from you guys.
Come on, I gotta, yeah, because that's this guy over here. I'll be so like, I don't know if I think the first time I was like, hell yeah, and that was crazy. And then fuck it, let me throw it back. You know how excited I was to be like, we had a cross collab with the Slauson. Like, nigga, I grew up. I was like, this is crazy, and it's just Instagram, but that was one of the craziest things to me ever. So, You're welcome, but thank you.
Well, you can collab with the Slauson anytime you'd like. You'd have to actually come down one day, but the collab is open.
No, I promise you. It's you guys do it once every Friday.
Every other Friday. Yeah.
Every other Friday. I promise you, I'm gonna come out there. Would it be too cheesy if I came out there, or not cheesy, but like cameras? You're not supposed to do that, right?
I'll have people come with cameras.
That's how we give
you know how I look at it.
With it.
There's a lot of people that promote a lot of. You guys cuss on here. Yeah, you guys cuss on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out here that promote a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
So I believe in promoting the good and the real and the authentic. And our patrons that come and get groceries, they're not shy. They'll hop in the camera. You know, they'll dance for you. They'll do whatever. They're not tripping. They are happy to spend time with us to get their groceries. It really is a community thing. You know, we're all together. It's not like so separated. Oh, those are the people getting the food, and that's why I say I let the volunteer shop. I don't want there to be any stigma with getting free food, you know. So everybody's comfortable bringing cameras as you want.
I want to ask this because there's a misconception of like the Slauson is dangerous, right? But there's also one of the things I hear is people say like it's just all Asian vendors in there. It's all Asian vendors, and I think from your perspective, one, can you clear up that there's only Asian vendors there? And then two,
so we are working on a piece to kind of tell the stories of the Black and brown vendors there. And that article kind of prompted my interest to do that. I kind of wanted to capture all the vendor stories prior to the article, but after the Korean vendor story was written, that made me feel even more, it made it feel even more of a priority to tell the Black and brown vendor stories. So that is something that we're going to be doing throughout this second half of the year. I think on my end, it's very foolish when everybody was like, oh, there's no Black people selling in there. Well, one, most of the people saying that don't go to the store to know who's in there. Roundabout, you would see plenty beautiful Black and brown people selling things. And then 3, I've been offering a free pop-up space for almost a year now to any Black or brown or blue or green or young or old person. So, and I work directly with the owners of the Slauson. That's who my contract is with the Slauson. They are not prejudiced. They're not Asian. They don't care about the race of the people selling there. They care about them paying the rent at the end of the month space. Yeah. And even to clear up, because I had to do some investigation work with this, one of the comments that got a lot of, that was noticed was someone said, well, they refuse to let Black jewelers sell there. And so I went to the owners. Well, I went to the owners with the list of everything everybody was saying. And I'm like, okay, you guys are going to have to explain some of this stuff to me and kind of prove to me that this is not true, you know? And so when I brought up the whole no Black and brown people selling, well, right now the Slauson has 8 vacancies ready to rent. So if any Black or brown, or again, any person wants to rent a space in the Slauson, there are 8 vacancies. As far as the Black jewelers, it has nothing to do with race. They're only allowed to have 15 jewelers in the Slauson. That's their agreement with all the jewelers that are there. Obviously, if you sell apples, you don't want everybody else around you selling apples. It's very competitive. So they've already spaced out the jewelers as much as they can, and they only allow 15 jewelry vendors at a time. So I'm actually starting a Black and brown jeweler waiting list so that as soon as one of these jewelers gets up out of there, we can replace him with the Black jeweler. So I think a lot of the things that people to say like, oh, that's not right. It's like, do a little more investigation, ask more questions than making statements if you don't really know, you know, because I am going to put out a status report since it's that time, you know, of the nationality breakdown of the vendors at Slauson so that we could kind of dead in that conversation.
Can we? I would love to be a part of that infographic. That's because I think that's a super interesting fact. If we're like, you know, the breakdown of the percent, that's a beautiful. We would love to be a part of that. That would be crazy. That's gonna go viral. I can already tell easily. I think that's powerful. Why do you think? Because even when I heard they said like it's all this race vendors, why do you think in that, at least the Black community, I could speak for that, like instead of like, I guess the entrepreneur, the competitor in me is like, if it is oversaturated, right? Why not go try to be a part of it rather than like just use that as a reason as to why you won't go and fight for something? Why do you think that is in our community?
It's not our fault. We've just been under a lot of suppression for a long time, and we've all faced a lot of trauma, and we have all been exiled out of situations and not had seats at tables that we were supposed to have. And as a Black woman, I've experienced a lot of that. Black person, as a woman, as a young person, in a lot of different ways. So I genuinely, and I mean, that's why I'm there, because I do understand, and I don't mind. I guess in this particular situation, playing the middleman between the owners of Slauson and the vendors, and the owners of Slauson in the community, and the vendors of Slauson in the community. And with that said, I do want to also say a lot of the things that Black and brown shoppers were saying about a lot of the vendors that just so happen to be Korean, because it's not a racist thing to say a Black vendor, but it can come off racist depending on what you said before or after that. So nothing I'm saying is racist, but I will say a lot of the things that Black and brown folks said about the Korean vendors is true, and I've experienced it myself. A lot of them are rude. I've experienced it full circle, because they'll come out and try to take all the groceries, and then when I go in there, they won't even speak to me. So I truly understand what people are saying. I'm not defending that at all. I'm more or less saying, I know what they said, but there is room for us. There is opportunity for us. We can't at the Slauson. I'm doing it. We're doing it. Like, come on, let's go. So my message is more positive. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone. I really want to help as many people as I can, even the Korean vendors, if they needed help to become more inclusive or to understand better how to treat people. I would love to teach them that. So I really like to put a positive spin on things, but I'm also not going to negate the facts and what's true or try to smooth something over, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Is there any like plans for, and I'm speaking to you like you own the joint, but are there any plans that you know of to like, what is it? Not redesign, but like just update the Slauson at all? I think a new color would be probably crazy, but I think that'd be dope. Or like just
you
whatever.
Want to paint the outside a different color?
Suburban orange, baby. What we talking about?
Lord. Okay.
The Suburban Swapmeet.
On like a Suburban Slauson shirt, and the building could be whatever color you want on the shirt. Maybe we do it like that.
I would love. See, I'm into like, and you know, I probably got to get a couple $100,000 before we put this off. I would love to like paint the Slauson Suburban orange for like a week. I'll paint it. We'll paint it back, but just monumental stuff. But even outside of that, like, and I haven't been to Slauson in years.
I mean, if you got the bread, we could do a little art project at the Slauson. As long as we recover it back to what it looked like, we could do that. Antisocial Social Club actually came and painted something on the exterior of the Slauson for Christmas and did a pop-up, and it was really dope. So, but they paid for it, you know. but we could do it.
Hey, but you know, like we family, so we going, you know, the little discount, you know. No, no, but even inside, like, are they updating this stuff in there, like actively or no?
So right now, the rollout is to get more shoppers. Yeah. And when the vendors, and then I'm giving you guys like real inside scoop, like somebody might get mad at me for saying this, but it's okay because it's the truth. So the game plan is to get more shoppers so that the vendors are making more money, so they're not complaining about paying their rent. And once the vendors are good on their end, then the owners can invest more into the Slauson. So that's kind of where it is right now.
That's what we're looking at.
There's more money than the investment comes to renovate.
Yeah.
The actual need is there.
There was a rumor too. What was the rumor? Like it got sold or was getting sold or something like that?
Yeah, like literally, I feel like everything that's been in the news about the Slauson in the past 2 years literally wasn't true. Like they're not closing. They weren't sold. They're not Asian owned. Like a lot of the things that people are saying is just not true.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the ethnicity of the people who own it?
They're Jewish.
Damn. Okay.
That's
not damn. But I was hoping she was like, they're black. That would have been like, oh, would have been crazy. Dope. I don't know.
But they did hire a black representative.
They did though.
Yeah, if you're looking for someone to represent black ownership at Slauson, I'm here.
We love it.
I honestly want to segue into the Mer Park Juneteenth if we can. If
after that, let's go. But before that, what kind of vendors would you like to see at the Slauson at the Slauson that already there?
What do we need more of?
Yeah.
Specialty vendors. Okay, so you know how now with Etsy and TikTok Shop, there's all these like special orders that people are making for customized or just very like personalized things. I don't see a lot of personalization outside of like apparel at Slauson. So I would like to see kind of like the same types of things you see on TikTok Shop and Etsy, because that's where a lot of people are spending their money now. To get some of that kind of creative, unique stuff in there.
Would you think hair would survive in there?
There's hair in there.
Yeah,
there's actually a black-owned hair vending machine in there where you don't even have to deal with anyone. You go in, you go straight to the vending machine, you put in whatever hair you want. It comes out the vending machine, and it's black-owned.
Okay, I like it.
And then obviously there's Korean vendors that also sell hair.
Yeah. Jamil, what you got? You said you were taking a Juneteenth?
Juneteenth. I love it. Everything about it. So just want to understand what is your involvement with it, and what do we plan to see this year? Because I know last year it got a little chaotic. There was some things happening in the crowd. People thought they heard gunshots, and I believe who was going on at that? I think Jill Scott was supposed to perform at that.
Jasmine Sullivan,
excuse me. It got canceled. So, like, I guess just moving forward. One, I just want to know your spiel behind the scenes. You know, you moving and shaking. Like, you know, what's your whole? I guess you could say
role.
But role within it. And then what can we expect to see next year, and just moving forward around, you know,
this year, right?
This year.
Next month, shoot. Yeah. So my involvement, I help to negotiate sponsorships, and I take care of the vendors, and make sure that they're paid up and got the permits and all of the things.
You work directly with I'm sorry, with what's his name?
Elevate Culture, Quest Coast, 6 yeah, we're all part of the team, same team.
Perfect,
and Quest Coast is really the spearheading figure of the event.
Got it.
Okay.
So what can we expect to see? I will say that the event is growing rapidly. So when you look at the growth of community events in LA, this event literally went from 5K, 15K, almost 30K. Like the attendance literally has been doubling every year. And so when that happens and you're in, you know, a place like Lamert, you know, there are always gonna be risks with outdoor events. With that said, there were no gunshots. There were noises that scared people, and really it was people's fear that ended up being the catalyst of the
Sexy Ray was out there. Bow, bow, bow.
Right. So this year we can expect family fun, a lot more youth activations, to keep the kids busy, because you know kids could get a little rowdy. So just keeping them busy. A lot more kind of hands-on activations, not still very walkable, but a lot more things that you can really connect with the vendors, not just so much. So of course, lots of shopping and lots of food, but also activations where you're learning and you're bringing something home with you and all those types of things. the Amazon stage is going to be amazing.
Nice.
So it is a lot to look forward to, huh?
Was Amazon a part of it last year, or is that like a new
rotation? Yeah. And shout out Tim Henshaw. Like, was he the one who connected that, or you're not sure? I think it was Timmy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna shout him out anyway. Shout out Tim Henshaw. That's my dad. I think he the one who spearheaded that.
Is the actual like the area, the square footage of the event growing? Because I remember it was like the one street, and then it'd be connected between, I want to say, Crenshaw and I can't think of the other street that it's on. But is it actually going to be getting bigger in that, like the actual like walkable distance, or are we trying to keep it confined to a certain area?
So we will have details within the next week. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. Like, as soon as the flyer was posted, everybody's been blowing me up. The vendors from last year have been blowing me up. All like the juicy info will be released within a week on social media, on the website. Vendor signups will open up. We are hosting another round of our financial literacy classes with Chase Bank. So that first class will be on June 6th, and I'll be teaching to facilitate that, and that's open to any vendor that plans on Merck Park or any small business that needs the education. So I'll share that flyer with you guys as well. Yeah, but yes, it's going to be same great music. I mean, same great food, different but equally great music. A lot of the patron vendors that you always see, working really hard to make sure it's safer, and just gonna have a lot more family vibes this year.
I think we're gonna be a vendor this year. We have to. It only makes sense.
Yeah, you guys should literally collect content and interview like random folks. Is there
and sell merch too? We got some merch out there.
Of course.
What? Mark my what's today? Today is May 25th. Saturday, May 25th. God is my witness. Next year, bro, there has to be a suburban stage. I don't know what it's gonna cost, but I think that's so worth it. There's no way. We need a suburban stage. We need a suburban. You guys got what, 3 stages?
Last year we had 3. Yeah, we had 3 in the kids stage, so technically 4. But yeah.
I need to get involved with that youth stage, up and coming.
Yeah, I want the Amazon stage. You know how I'm giving it up. I need the whole thing. God is my witness. We're gonna get that. What's that stage?
You know what? I'm gonna try to do what I can. I don't know nothing. I'm not committing to anything, but I'm gonna try. I'll try to see what I can do.
Amazon can't be paying more than like $250 for that. I'm pretty sure they're paying. I'm sure. Yeah, it's like $250. Gotta be. We're gonna bid out, man, because that's crazy. Could you imagine the freaking suburban stage? Oh my god!
That'd be dope.
You gotta be whatever it is, bro. Just to like the whole city would know, like, damn, the suburban stage is stepping it up. Next year, gives us up a year. I like it. I like it.
Put it out there to the ethos.
You know. Damn. I think that might be all I got. What else am I interested to know about you? What you grew up in OC? You said, right? You live in LA now?
Yep.
Do you like LA more or OC?
I never really liked living in Orange County because our family unit was like we were the only black people around. Like my other family lived in Orange County. My family's very pro-black. Like I grew up with a lot of Black Panthers in my family, just a lot of people that advocate for, Black excellence, Black culture. So I always did feel very out of place, even though I grew up there. I was raised by very forward-thinking, powerful African Americans. So I understood that I was very different than what I was surrounded by. So I definitely feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more in my skin. I graduated from high school when I was 16 and went to Howard University. So literally as soon as I could get to my people, I was like, okay, we're going. And then my family's from New Orleans, grew up with family in Inglewood. So I was in New Orleans and Inglewood a lot. So yeah, but my people is my comfort zone.
So you graduated high school at 16?
It all makes sense.
I got to high school when I was 12 years old.
It all makes sense.
Accelerated. Yeah.
It makes sense you went to Howard. It makes sense. It's all coming back to me.
Hold on.
Ooh,
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. Okay, so I do have two more questions, but you are like, I could tell you're a go-getter, you're a hustler, you're what every, I mean, in your own right, you're a CEO, but you're like one of those people that every company CEO, anybody, like they need you, one of you on their team for sure.
Can I just say you remind me of like the real life Issa, like on some insecure type shit. You really like advocating and fighting.
That's a huge compliment.
No,
I
I
appreciate
swear.
that.
The way I look at it, you know what I'm saying? I love Insecure. I love Issa, what she doing, and just watching you, really be a part of the community and really do what you're doing on some like, Issa Rae or even what's my other girl that be like in the background? Karen Civil. You know what I'm saying? She really in the cut, but
if that's who you're comparing me to, then I'm on the right track.
100%.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
100%. Yeah. So, but go ahead, Scott.
No, I think it's great. How's your love life? Being who you are, I feel like you probably
single as a Pringle, babe. I am focused. I'm focused, and I don't want to be single forever. But I haven't come across anybody that I see pursuing me properly to be part of the focus.
What does it look like to pursue you properly?
I can't say it because that's like giving an instruction book, and the guys go, "Okay, one check, all right, get that." No, yeah, but genuineness and honesty and being motivated as well. Being motivated for yourself, and then having enough motivation left over to keep me motivated, and being able to give and receive help. Yes.
Are you raising your hand to speak, or are you volunteering?
Yeah, I have a question. I
was trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. I'm under a person in your position, right? It can be intimidating for a lot of men.
A lot of people say that, but I feel like I'm just a girl. What is so intimidating?
No, definitely. You're just a girl. You're beautiful. You're doing the things. You got a lot going on for yourself, and it's like nowadays everybody don't got a lot going on for them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
bro, he like I make $30K a year. She out here, she man, like it's
yeah. She connected.
No. I made that face, but in all honesty, my heart is so big. If he had everything else worked out,
30K.
Hey, look, what we ain't gonna do, if man making 30K, you need to go get a second job, brother. We ain't doing that.
That's what I'm saying. I can motivate him to do that. I don't know if I would date him.
No, you need to motivate yourself,
and that's
brother.
what ends up happening a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of
you shouldn't have took the job, brother.
A lot of the dates that I've been on turned into me consulting. Like it starts off with, oh yeah, I like you did it up. But then once they tell me their life, my brain goes to, because we grow a leg, So if I see you need some growth, now we gonna grow you. But I might not want to date. You want to date that's equal.
So you friend zoning them at the first 10 minutes.
Professional friend zoner, yes.
Professional friend zoner. Watch out, fellas.
What is your list? Like, what are you looking for in your person? What do they gotta look like? What do they gotta do? Who they gotta be around? What they gotta make? Like, kind of car they gotta drive, if they gotta drive. Like, what is it that you look for?
What do they have to look like? Clean cut. I used to say black, but I'm 33 and I don't know. So I'm gonna open it up now. We're opening it up.
Outside your
opening it up. Yep. I'm down to try it. So I haven't yet, but you don't want to miss out on the blessing. You never know where it's gonna come from. God. So there's that. I really do care more about character.
Gotta be older. Don't matter.
I have not dated younger just because, again, I see a lot of people younger than me and somebody I could help more than someone that.
The new wave has been the young guys, though. That's been the new wave. And
I'm not discriminating on age. I would say I wouldn't go under. I not go under 25. I wouldn't go over 45. That's a good range.
Okay.
shit that matters after dark, man. That's a segment right now.
Yeah.
Okay. My last question will be like, you are such a upstanding, like the power is felt, the beauty is felt, the presence is felt, right? You have all of these things and you're well spoken.
I didn't know you were nice, Scottie.
You said what?
You were nice. That's so funny. Okay. Yes.
Think an asshole out here.
Do I come off as an asshole? Be honest. Do I come off as an asshole or like a little? Really? I'm so nice.
Is it the brand? Yes,
just a little.
I'm not mean. I am moody though, and I need to work on that as a man. I'm a pretty moody person. I get my little moods. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
That's crazy. I come off. Whatever. You know what it is. But no, you are like all of these things. And
thank you.
I'll be honest, we've done one of these interviews before, and you have it. You've got all the je ne sais quoi, like you're like a female version of myself, just amazing. My question is, what do
Gadiana? I'm just kidding. Okay, yes.
She's funny. She's funny. She's got all the things. My question is, what do you do? Like, what's that thing where you just like, okay, when it's time to take that Superwoman cape off, like, what do you, for fun, relax, just have a good time? What's that for you?
Just spending time with people I care about. So that's the cool thing.
She's good. Like, she's good.
No, like in my life, I've really set my life up that everything I do has that element in it. Like the food drives, that's work, but I'm also hanging out with my friends. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of the people that I'm around, even professionally, they just so happen to be people that I genuinely care about. And so that makes even work feel really good, you know, because we're all growing together. But like off day, like today, Storm's hosting a party, right? So that's what I mean. It's technically work, but no, today's fun day. We're having fun today. So it's all built in. Yeah.
Wait, where's the party?
It's on 7th. I'll send you the flyer. Yes. Yes.
Me and Jamil were literally just talking about this, and like, and me, I realized, like, because you think about what's your purpose and all these things, but I realized for me, it's like, I want to thread that needle of like, I want people to look at me and not know whether I'm having fun or working. I want to really blur those lines. Like, that's what it is. I want to wake up and be able to do that, right? And so that's kind of like the big goal for me. So I love that you said that. We literally had this conversation. We did our last interview like an hour ago, whatever, and that's kind of how we ended it up. So. Yeah.
And you know, I have a short story about how work can be just all encompassing for your personal and your professional. So I haven't like been announcing this so much, but my mom just passed away 2 weeks ago. So part of what I do, I educate youth. So I've been going to Hudno Elementary School this whole past year under the I'm a Movement tutoring program and Brotherhood program, where I'm able to build curriculum for that and administer it to the kids, and have built like these really special relationships with these kids. And I had to kind of step away because my mom's really sick, and that's where my energy had to go. And there were a few days that I just kind of knew like I'm not in the right headspace to be in front of all these kids. Like they need they're depending on a certain energy from me, and I know I'm not carrying that right now. So I'm just gonna stay away, because I don't want them to be negatively affected by me just not being as cheerful as I usually am, or just being preoccupied and mentally, or whatever the case. And when I finally went back to the school, it was almost a month that I didn't go to the school because I was taking care of my mom. Yeah. And when I finally went back, literally, like I'm walking to the classroom and I'm like, okay, put your smile on, like everything's good. Because now at this time, my mom has passed, and my mom passed a few days before then. So I'm like, trying to build myself up. Like when you go in there, you have to be happy for the kids. And when I couldn't even open the door all the way, and all the kids just ran up to me and just literally surrounded me with love. And that's just like a story of me not expecting anything. I'm thinking of who I need to be for them. And then they just showed up in a crazy way for me.
Yeah.
And so, and they didn't even, maybe they didn't know how much I needed it. I don't know. But that was like a very special moment for me. And I've seen it a lot. Like even with Storm. Storm's my client, but we've become good friends. And honestly, she's one of, even as a client, she's so much more supportive than a lot of friends that I've had. So even it's so fun working with her. It's so fun, like helping her grow and just watching her do her thing. So I feel, again, I've intentionally set my life up in a way that I don't have these huge separations of like who I am professionally and who I am personally and no, I'm me. We're us wherever we go. So
I love that.
I feel like you almost gave us a tear, almost. I have a question, and the question is, do you ever find yourself questioning God? And I'm gonna ask you that because you announced like, hey, my mom, transitioned about 2 weeks ago. Nothing about your energy says that whatsoever. And then you also said something about the Slauson, about like, or in terms of the way your faith works is you don't question about where you go, like you'll go anywhere. And so that makes me like wonder, like, do you ever question God or like question his ways or his message, or was there ever a point you've ever done that?
I question myself and I question other people for sure, but I don't. I think for me, I always knew who God was. I was baptized as a baby and all that, but I was like consciously baptized as an adult. I was like 22 or something. Because I was questioning everything, including God. And my cousins, shout out Fatima and Amira, they started going to one church and they invited me there. And so we were going to church. I ended up getting baptized. And watching God make so much sense of just like my existence, I can't question him. Like he's just shown up in ways that there's no question. Like it wasn't a person, you know what I'm saying? Just, it wasn't. And so it's like, even if I didn't believe in God, then I would be believing in something outside of myself, because these things just happen in a way. Even things that happened when my mom was sick, it's just God has really shown up in a way that I don't doubt him or his presence in my life, or just at all. Even to the point to where if I'm having a problem and it's like too complicating, I will like confidently give up. And giving up seems like maybe not good, but when I say give up, I don't mean like fuck this shit. I mean give up like, God, take it. I don't know what to do with it. So if it's not supposed to be with me, take it away from me. If it's supposed to be with me, I don't know what to do with it. Take it from me and give it back in a way that I could understand and digest it. And I'm really let it go. And to watch how God brings things back and makes it make sense, but only because I let it go. If I was obsessing over it or worrying about it, it wouldn't happen that way. So I love the Lord. Like there's just no doubt. There's just no doubts. Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess, we have 2 more questions. Our question we ask everybody, but this question is
past 10 questions, but
I mean, you give me these sound bites. I'm like, damn, I got something else to ask. Like,
we do this all day with you, trust me.
He knows. I talk. How do you said something like, hey, these kids deserve this level of energy. I find myself, the thing I do now, I've wrote like a list of things that I want in my life and I read it every day. And one of the things is like my pillars. I have 5 pillars: family, faith, fitness, finances, and freedom. Is she there?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. Freedom, there's a part of my life where I want to be abundant. I want to radiate a certain energy to people. How do you maintain the energy? Like,
that's a great question.
Yeah, how do you,
especially always being that light for others? Like, where do you get your source from? I know you speak about God a lot, but yeah, like that's a great question.
That really is my answer. I do talk to myself. I definitely talk to myself, and I talk to the people that I know that care about me too. Like if I am running low on energy, I don't have like too much pride to call a close friend or a cousin or whoever and say, oh my gosh, I don't feel good about this and that. I don't feel good about the day. And allow them to like kind of help me through that. A lot of people sit in their feelings because you're literally sitting and you don't get it out. And so I feel like innately we all want happiness. So you have to look at it like you're naturally happy. There's just these things getting in the way of it that you just have to clear out. It's not about getting happy. It's there. That's what your heart wants. You know what I'm saying? So it's just about clearing away the things that are in the way of that. And you have to really dissect yourself to know what's in the way of that. Like if you're waking up drained every day and you're just like, oh, I don't feel like it. There's something happening in your life that's draining. You got to pinpoint it and remove it. You know? So I think sometimes it's not so much like affirmations are good. Like, I know working out gives people endorphins. I don't work out enough, but I know that that's true. I know that's a way to boost your mood. But for me, it really is prayer. It really is knowing that I'm showing up for the people I care about. They're showing up for me. It's knowing that like people are looking to me for that. Like I'm a pretty like cheerful, kind of easygoing person. Like even in a boardroom when it's like the most serious thing going on, we gonna get the serious stuff done, and then I'm gonna just crack a joke afterwards because that's just I don't like stuff to be too heavy, you know. And so I know now people expect that from me to the point where if I don't give them that, it's like what's wrong. Like even if I'm just straight faced, people are like, what's wrong? Like so. That makes me feel good because when you talk about like reputation and like when you're gone, you know, not to get morbid or anything, but like we all have an ending, right? And when you
legacy,
end, what are people? Yeah, you're like, what are people gonna say? And it's like, I kind of like that narrative. Like she was always smart. She was always so. If that's what you want people to say, it's freedom. You want people to be like Scottie was a free ass nigga. Okay, if that's what you want people to say, you have to give them reasons to say that. You know what I mean? Like you have to show up with that freedom, like every day. And then at a certain point, it's just natural, and everybody expects that, and that's just the new truth of your life. You know?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Shit that matters, man. Your ending thoughts. What's the one thing that really matters to you right now?
Something you want to bring awareness around.
It's gonna sound really cliche. It's gonna sound like very surface level, but I actually mean it in a very deep way. Like intentionally spreading positivity. So like one thing that I've started doing, like, cause you know, we're out, all three of us, we're outside a lot, you know, we be around people. So now, this is just an example, very surface level example, but it goes a long way. If I see somebody wearing something I like, I'm gonna walk up to them and say, that's dope. If I see a girl and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, I'm gonna go tell her like, girl, you are so pretty. Like intentionally spreading positivity, because a lot of times it's so easy, especially when it comes to strangers, to like talk about what you don't like about someone. And so that's one thing that I'm really big on is like, and even if it's just a smile, that's intentionally spreading positivity, because that smile might, somebody else be like, I didn't even know why that person smiled at me today. Like you just never know the seed, like what's gonna grow from it. So just if you do have something nice to say it. And then my motto that I've kind of started living by is I help people that help people. And so I think if we all just, you know, did a little bit of that, like you help yourself, you help your loved ones, but do you go outside of that? Like if you see somebody trying to do something good, but they're kind of struggling, like go help them, you know? So those are the two things. If you have something nice to say it, and help the people that are helping the people.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Everybody go follow Lauren Brazile. Go follow We Grow LA, Lamar Park Juneteenth. She does it all, man. So we got to continue to support the people that's out here making the moves that matter. So we can talk about the shit that matters. And yeah, man, this is what we do.
Thank you guys for believing that my shit matters.
Nah,